Tonight, we're cracking open Cream of Kentucky. Welcome to the show. Well, I have to admit, I have been waiting for this one for a while. And why is that? I wasn't sure whether I wanted to buy it. I've heard of Cream of Kentucky for a while now. I've been seeing it in Tennessee on a lot of my trips been going to, but it wasn't until just recently that I started seeing it in Georgia. Get that all the way on. This is the small batch, Cream of Kentucky small batch, Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. It is 100 proof, and it comes from the Cream of Kentucky Distillers in Crestwood, Kentucky. Never heard of Crestwood. Interesting. I won't read the whole thing on here, but on the back it says this unique small batch release offers a symphony of flavors that intermingle to create our signature Cream of Kentucky double rich flavor promise. Our tradition of using only the best bourbon assures a delightful pour of Cream of Kentucky every time. All right then. I know there is at least 2 Cream of Kentuckys. I'll have to look up, and I'll leave in the description. I'll put a link to their website so you can look it up yourself. I know they do have a cask strength Cream of Kentucky, and of course this a small batch, and usually you see them both side by side. I decided I would go with the small batch first for 2 reasons. One, not all cask strength do I like. If I like the small batch or single barrels, I tend to like that. It's a good chance I'll like the cask strength. But if I don't like the small batch or single barrel, then yeah, usually I'm not a cask strength guy. But, start out at 100 proof. Well, that's, my sweet spot is that 100 to 115, sometimes 120 if I'm really feeling frisky. But, 100 proof. And the other reason, my friend, Bridge Patel at Sprayberry Bottle Shop, said he loves this stuff. He really, he is out to sell whiskey, but he's also my friend, and he is also very honest. And if he tells me he loves it, I believe him. So we're going to try this Cream of Kentucky and see if I love it, because not every palate is the same. If it was, we'd all be drinking Old Crow. I always make fun of Old Crow. My wife's grandfather drank Old Crow forever. I'm not sure I've even ever tasted it. So I make fun of a whiskey I have never had. I shouldn't do that, should I? Nah, I should. So, I paid $69.99, and I've seen the prices be in the 60s, mid to high 60s. If I find the MSRP or suggested retail price, I'll put it on the bottom of the screen. But that's getting harder and harder to find. They don't want to disclose what the suggested price is, I guess, because, maybe the bottle shops don't like them doing that. But what about the aroma, Mike? Let's get on to the aroma. Well, that is a fine smelling Kentucky bourbon whiskey. I get a little bit of proof there, but I just opened it up. It hasn't really breathed at all. But yeah, kind of more of a brown sugar molasses than any kind of maple, and almost a and I've said it recently, caramel corn. Yeah, kind of a caramel corn sweetness. Definitely getting a little bit of, I think, malt off of it. It's not a wheated bourbon, so it's not a wheat I'm picking up. It must be the malt. The rye spice, if it's there, it's not in the aroma. Cheers. Okay, we're back. We had a power outage right in the middle of my tasting. So we're going to go back, rewind a little bit back to the beginning of the taste. Cheers. Oh, wow. That is very rich for 100 proof bourbon. It is 100 proof. Hell yeah. I'm getting a nice amount of sweetness with a balance of savory. Really, kind of half sweet, half savory. But, I mean, really coats the palate well. No ethanol taste. Not oaky, not too leathery, not too sweet, not too spicy. It seems to be like right in the middle of everything. Let's take another sip. On the front, I get a little bit of like white pepper, but that, brown sugar and vanilla is right at the forefront there. So you get that sweetness with the vanilla, light baking spices, light pepper on the front. Goes into the mid palate, just coats it wonderfully. Stays there and stays there. Maybe a little bit of fruit, but mostly that brown sugar and vanilla. And then into the finish, more of a little bit of a drying effect, not too bad, but the taste pretty much goes in there. You still get that brown sugar and vanilla, and now a little bit of leather pops up. No bitter oak, no bitter tannins. If this was in a blind and I didn't know that it was a young bourbon, when I say young bourbon, probably 4 to 6 years, right? If it was older, they'd obviously advertise that. It tastes more like an 8 to 10 year bourbon. It really does. I'm not kidding you. Let's take another taste. That is delicious. That is just such a good sipper. And you just don't expect a bourbon of this proof, of this age and this price to be that smooth, but it really has a lot of smoothness going on. I know people don't like to hear the word smooth, but this is smooth. Wow. Now I'm really interested in the cask strength. Is it even more of the same, or does it have too much bite? This does not have too much bite. I do have a little bit of Kentucky hug going on there, but nothing objectionable. There is nothing bad about this bourbon. Wow. So let's take one more sip and we're going to go to final thoughts. This really tastes at a much higher proof point. If I didn't know, I would say it's probably an $80 to $100 bourbon, somewhere in that range. So when I compare it to other bourbons, I'm really comparing it to pricier bourbons, name brand bourbons that I love. This is, the $60 to $70 range, which this bourbon is in, there's not a whole lot that I can compare it to. It's more like the $80, $90, up to $100 bottles that I can compare it to as far as experience, taste, finish. Wow. And value. Well, value, I would tell you it's spectacular. I did not expect it to be this good. For $69.99, it outdrinks its price point. I know I've said it. I'll say it again. This is a outstanding deal for $69. Wow. Recommendation? Well, you probably know. It definitely is. Buy it. And when I get the cask strength, I'll let you know what I think about that. If it's a little bit harsh, it's not as good as this small batch, I doubt really. I imagine it's probably as good or better, right? But a small batch being this good, not a single barrel, not a store pick, just a small batch, 100 proof Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. Got a little heart on the front. Yeah, baby. Mwah. Like, don't do that on the camera. It's good. It really is good, people. So, recommendation, solid buy. For the money, it really is a good bourbon. Is it my best bourbon? No. But at $69, it could be one of the best bourbons that I own in that price range. So as always, please drink responsibly, never drink and drive. Hit that like button, share, subscribe, and we'll see you next time on First Pour. Cheers.